Let's talk about Kim Cattrall, who is speaking out about Sex in the City, that other show, and just like that, and saying like, the actress 69 basically said that it was scary to say no to the past and yes to the future as he spoke at a press conference at the Anguilla Tribeca Festival in Portugal on Friday. Now, taken to the stage, Kim put on a age-defying display as she stepped out in a purple double denim coord. As she spoke to a crowd of fans, here's what she said. Now, I do have the Instagram post, the Instagram video, I should say. So instead of me reading it, I'll just let y'all hear what Miss Mamas had to say. Please hold.
I think it's always been hard to say no. And it takes a tremendous amount of courage to say that's not for me when everyone's screaming, do it. Do it because of X amount of money or X amount of connections and you have to really, you have to be brave to say no. You have to have your own peace of mind and be stubborn in your decision of what is right for you. Because what's right for you might not be right for someone else. Not a lot of people can take the scrutiny of why you would say no. And sometimes you say no because of where you are in your life or your a new experience that you hadn't had that you want to have. So you must say no to the past and say yes to the future, which is unknown, which is scary. I think it's always been.
Okay, so basically, in so many words, she was just like, "Look, I'm tired of. I'm not just going to keep going back and playing Samantha Jones and every goddamn thing. Like, there's other things that I can do, and we have seen that Kim definitely challenges herself as an actor when she's taking on other roles. Now, maybe those shows didn't last longer than a season, but at least she's taking risks and doing things that are considered scary, especially when you're an actor in Hollywood. And no shade, but I definitely feel like she definitely dodged the bullet by not coming back to And Just Like That. Because to me, looking at And Just Like That, I just think that they haven't figured out how to make that show. What did that show have to say? In when did it come out? What is this, 2025, 2020? Let's go back. I don't remember when the show came out. 2022, 2023. Like when you're a show that was a prominent staple in Generation X, elder millennials in the 90s, into the 2000s. How did that, like, you had a lot to say then when it came to that show. That, the show caused a lot. I knew people that because of Sex in the City, they moved to New York because of the glitz and the glamour and that image that these women were perpetuating. One of my friends told me that he moved to America. Moved to America. He moved to New York because of Madonna's song "I Love New York." That's what made him move to. I said, okay, let me find out Madonna motivated, and she moved to New York too. That whole story, but that's neither here nor there. But there are shows, songs, artists, whatever, based off of something that's like, you know what? You convinced me to want to like move out here, and Sex in the City was that thing, especially with the fashions and so many other things. So Sex in the City was iconic at the time. When you think about And Just Like That, it's sort of like, okay, so we love the nostalgia of Sex in the City, but what did you have to say in regards of the thing in this generation and this time? And I just don't feel like these women had anything of substance to say. Well, the script didn't. And you just thought by putting Carrie, Miranda, and Charlotte with a bunch of newbies and trying to course correct because people clown over the lack of diversity from Sex in the City, and y'all try to overcompensate instead of just telling a story. It just didn't click. And I tried to get into Sex in the City. I mean, I tried to get into And Just Like That, and I've given that show so many chances every time there was a new season. It just it just wasn't given. And so I don't hold anything. I mean, and no shade also, but I think a lot of them girls know this. Cattrall was the show. She was the standout. Yes, Sarah Jessica Parker, this show was revolving around her. And excuse me, she was the co-star and executive producer, but or producer. But she wasn't that girl that we was all gravitating towards. Speaking for myself, of course, I was more of a Samantha than any of the other girls. Every now and again, I'd probably embody some of Miranda with some of these people would get on my damn nerves with stuff. But for the most part, I was a full on Samantha. Where I was out hunching and I just didn't want to have any kind of emotional attachment to the people that I was hunching. Trying to keep it clean. So and now they said, as the Police Academy star used Instagram to celebrate her birthday earlier this year with a selfie featuring her holding a flute of champagne, she told her followers, "Thank you all for your birthday wishes." However, one fan took the comments to heap praise on her iconic Sex and the City character, Samantha Jones, while making a dig at the failure of the spinoff and Just Like That. They wrote, and just like that, we all know it was Sam who carried the entire franchise. You embodied everything that is the essence of a strong, powerful, and vulnerable woman. We love and respect you. Maybe that's why I was relating with that character too, because I had strong, powerful, and vulnerable sides of myself, but I wasn't ashamed of sex. Well, still do. I was like, sex is a wonderful, natural thing, and it was just something I was never ashamed of. It's like it's a good way of expressing yourself. Now they said, and appearing to show her support for the fans' opinion, Kim couldn't resist giving the comment a like. So look, she knew that she carried that show on her back, and that's probably why people like Sarah Jessica Parker was jealous because this was supposed to be her vehicle, but sometimes things don't always work out the way they're supposed to. Like to me, I feel like if there was any character that I would want to play, if I was up for the role on the Sex and the City type show, I would want to play Samantha. You could have so much fun with that character. You get to say crazy, iconic one-liners. Like the gays would just, we live for the one-liners that she would say, or the little crazy outbursts that Samantha would have with the profanity, and also you get to chew up the scenery and have so much fun with a lot of the characters that you're playing, whereas Carrie was very complex, or she was supposed to be she's this big writer who would just do despicable things at times. A lot of people still ain't forgive her what she did to Aiden, even though they try to clean that up in the and Just Like That show. People still windmilling on her for what she did to Aiden during the Sex and the City seasons, who I thought was like the best man she was ever with, but didn't appreciate it, or wasn't just ready for the type of man that Aiden was. So they also went on to say the timing was particularly striking, as And Just Like That had aired its final ever episode just 1 week earlier to savage reviews. There has long been a buzz about a clash between her and her co-stars, particularly with Sarah, who played Carrie Bradshaw. Kim has previously hit out at Sarah and said, "We're not friends," after the former co-star posted an Instagram condolence message following the death of Kim's brother. While Sex and the City enthusiasts have long expressed their disappointment in the HBO Max spinoff series, slamming it as woke, awful, and cringeworthy. I hate the fact that y'all use the woke word in this whole situation because it's just being used incorrectly, but whatever. So fans had bashed the show and its writers, with some even alleging And Just Like That had ruined the once beloved characters for the original Sex and the City, with critics calling it the worst show on television. Kim famously eschewed reprising her role as PR mogul Samantha for the show, unlike the rest of the original cast quartet, save for a fleeting cameo in season 2, for which she was reportedly paid 1 million. And not only that, but she was able to bring back Patricia Field. And Patricia Field was working on another show, Emily in Paris, I think. And she was the only one who could get Pat Fields to give her something to wear in the show. Now, if Sarah Jessica Parker couldn't do that, but Samantha Jones could do it, well, sorry, Kim Cattrall could do it just for one episode, what does that kind of say in this situation? So, Then they also said that it was explained that she had moved to London after falling out with Carrie, with her return coming in the form of a brief phone call, which she filmed without interacting with any cast member. And just like that, saw Miranda Hobbs cheat on husband Steve with non-binary comic Che Diaz, while Carrie bizarrely claimed love of her life, Mr. Big, was a mistake and agreed to take a 5-year break from her on-again, off-again romance with Aidan Shaw. The show's viewership had tumbled by the airing of its third season, which finally came to an end last month. Damn, it's been that long. Why did I feel like and just like that just ended maybe a while ago? It's the last month. I'm like, what the fuck I been? And I think that was basically September when it ended. But I didn't even watch season 3 because when they told about it was canceled, I'm like, well, what's the point? But yeah, I'm just glad that Kim Cattrall has been able to move on and do other things. And you know what? And people, we love and appreciate her. I love me some Kim Cattrall since Police Academy. So I've been a fan for a long time. Big Trouble Little China, Mannequin. Like she's been in a lot of iconic films that I have loved throughout my childhood. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding what Kim Cattrall had to say about her decision to turn down Sex in the City, saying like, you know what, I can't just keep saying yes to old stuff. I gotta mature and I gotta evolve and I gotta move on to bigger and better things. So, and that's what she did in so many words without throwing shade at that other show. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.